Howdee-haie guys, today I'm going to be doing a review of Skulduggery Pleasant by Derek Landy. Now, I've been wanting to read this series for quite some time, and one of my cousins, Ebony, you've probably heard me talk about Ebony and Lauren quite often, but Ebony has pretty much the whole series as well as some of the bonus book collection edition things. So yeah, she's kindly started to lend me some of the books in the series, and I've recently just finished the first one, obviously. So here is what Skulduggery Pleasant is about. Basically, we're following a young girl called Stephanie. I think she's about 11 years old, and she's very, very close to her Uncle Gordon, who is a kind of mystery fiction author, so she believes. He dies suddenly, and she can't get to grips with what's going on. She was really close to him, and through certain events she feels like maybe his death was far from natural. So she decides to explore this deeper, darker world that she's living in without even realising that she was. And to help her with that, we have this awesome skeleton detective, Skulduggery Pleasant. And the fun starts from there, to be honest. So I gave this a 3.5 stars out of 5 stars because I really enjoyed it. Maybe it just wasn't as intense for me to give it like a 4 or a 5 stars, but I still really enjoyed it regardless. This novel is everything. It is action-packed and really easy to fly through. I think it took me pretty much a day and a half to finish it. Really quick read. And it's not necessarily a short book, but I think it's because the way it's written makes it super easy to understand and get through. The writing's pretty big, so it's easy to see, which again helps to me being able to fly through quickly because I can see what I'm reading, you know. And I don't know, I think it was just so packed full of fun that also added to this extremely quick read. I felt that the two protagonists we follow, which is Stephanie and Skulduggery, were really strong individuals. Like, they definitely got developed on their own as well as together, and I loved that even in the darkest moments they could not stop with the humour. It was so funny, and it is definitely my kind of comedy because I find things that maybe shouldn't be funny quite funny, and the fact that they were cracking jokes in the middle of horrible situations, it spoke to me, and I was like, yes, thank you, you are sick in the head too, thank you very much. As for the side characters, although I do believe they weren't exactly fleshed out as well as the protagonists, which is understandable because I mean they're side characters, they still helped the story develop as a whole, because being as built up as much as they were, it gave them strength and believability, especially Tanith. I really enjoyed her character. She was definitely a strong character to have in this story, and I think she definitely promoted some good reading material for me because of the way she helped out the characters in the book develop, you know? And I think if an author can use a side character that may not be very developed into helping develop other characters that are more in the limelight, I think that's just such an awesome technique to have. Like, it's got to show that you have at least some skill if you can pull that off efficiently. One thing I didn't understand is when we came to our main villain in this story, I didn't get why his chapters were written in like italic font. It didn't make much sense. I mean, I could understand if it was written in the way as the characters are speaking from actually their point of view, like, this happened to me, blah blah blah. I can't remember what person that is because I'm bad at that sort of stuff, but it wasn't, so it didn't really make much sense. It didn't necessarily add or subtract anything from the story. It was just a bit pointless having a difference in font for this character. I don't know why it was really done. I also really liked the quirk of having the little, rather than chapter art, it was more like the first letter at the beginning of the chapter had a little bit of character art there, so I liked seeing the little illustrations there, and as I got on through the story I began to notice them a little bit more and be like, oh, that's that character, that's cool. So I liked how it had just a tiny little illustration hidden amongst the words, and that was pretty cool. Overall, I really enjoyed this read. I think anyone should read it. It's definitely an action-packed mystery novel thing. I do believe that the Guess Who feel throughout this story just added to the mystery and the detective aspect, but also the fantasy element and the horror element to it was built up superbly as well. This is definitely going to be a great read for younger readers as well as slightly older readers like myself, and maybe older readers even older than myself. I think anybody can enjoy this. It's just a really fun read. So yeah, with that being said, I do hope you decide to check this story out if you haven't already, or if you have, let me know what you think about it down below, and I shall speak to you in another video soon. Have a great morning, afternoon and evening, and goodbye. Bye.